Welcome to day 7 of The Skin I'm In by Sharon G. Flake. So last time, Malika was walking home from Shara's house and she was attacked by those two random guys in the alleyway. They beat her up and they tried to rape her, and she didn't tell her mom. The only person she told was her best friend Sweets, who goes to the private school. So fast forward, it's been 2 months, and she gets into trouble with Charlize again. She's in the bathroom, they're smoking, they're dancing. Charlize is drawing on the bathroom wall, and Miss Saunders walks in and catches them. So when we leave off with Malika, she is being walked to the principal's office with Miss Saunders. So I want you to write in your notebook, because you obviously should have your notebook at this point in time. If you don't already have it, pause here, go get it. And under day 7, write down, what do you think that Malika should, or do you think that Malika should have told her mom what happened to her? And why do you think that she didn't? Pause here, and when you're ready, unpause and we'll move on. So when you're ready, open your book to page 104 and we'll get started. Dear Diary, they took us up top today. I cried when the sun touched my face. It has been a long time since I seen it. The others, they jumped up and ran and laughed like they was free. I sat down in a corner by myself. I stared at the sun, then shut my eyes tight. I want to hold on to the sun for as long as I can, to save up the picture for when I am below again and need to remember that the sun is always shining. I squeeze my eyes closed till I see the stars. When I open my eyes again, Hinjari is there. Akilma. The school detention room is in the basement, next to the boiler room. Damp, cramped, and hot. Nothing but chairs and desks, with Miss Birdie, the detention teacher. Even when it's snowing out, you can go sleeveless in there and still be sweating. Today ain't no different. It's hot, I'm sweating, and it ain't nobody's fault but Miss Saunders. So here I am, writing in my diary, trying to see the sun. I'm supposed to be doing English homework. Miss Saunders gave me 25 pages to read in 2 days. I don't get too far with it, though. Caleb comes into detention room, making noise. He's excusing himself all the way across the room, squeezing between desks, knocking over books. You think a boy that has been the president of the class and student representative of the PTA would know how to walk into a room. I'm hoping he will sit up front. No such luck. He plops down 2 seats away from me and starts talking before he's seated. Hey, he says in that low, soft voice of his. I stretch my legs till they're even with the front legs of the chair in front of mine. What are you doing here? I ask. Mr. P put me in here, he says. I was doing the boys' bathroom. For a while, I just doodled the edges of my paper. But I can't help asking, doing what in the boys' room? Scrubbing down the joint, he says, plain as day. You cleaned the boys' room? I'm frowning up my face. You touched the toilet and all that stuff? Caleb's shaking his head yes with every word I say. Disgusting. I suck my teeth. Miss Birdie comes over to tell us to separate. Get some more space between you two, she says. 2 more seats over Caleb, she insists. Caleb moves over. Then, as soon as Miss Birdie starts grading papers again, he's back near me. I don't believe you, I whisper. Ain't nobody at this school crazy enough to clean the bathrooms, I say, and then I shut my mouth. But Caleb, he does seem crazy sometimes. He and his dad go feed the homeless on the weekends, and once a month, Caleb volunteers at the senior citizens home. Last year, he even got the school to hold a neighborhood cleanup day. Yeah, I cleaned up the boys' room, Caleb says, smiling. Got down on my hands and knees like my mama taught me. You should have asked the janitor for help. He's doing his job, Caleb says. It's the rest of us that ain't doing ours. Caleb's hands don't look like they've been doing no toilets, even if he was wearing gloves. His hands are big, with nice white straight nails, and his fingers are long and strong, and they move all over the place when he gets excited. Miss Birdie comes over and lectures us about why we're here in detention, and what will happen to us if Caleb doesn't move over and shut up. For a little while, we write notes to each other. I write, why bother with that smelly bathroom if no one else cares about it? Caleb writes back, you have to take a stand when things aren't right. I look at him and wonder why he didn't take a stand last year when we was on the bus and everybody was making fun of how black I am. Instead of writing back, I open up my folder and start writing in my diary. Dear diary, Caleb smells good. Sometimes when I'm around him, I lose my head. I forget that I am mad at him and that I promised myself I would never, ever forgive him for not coming to my defense on the bus. Those white teeth, them eyes, and that voice, they make me forget that sometimes when he's done, that's why I try to keep away from him. I don't want to forget. Malika. Caleb looks at me for the longest time. Things can change, he says. Like things between you and me, things at school. Don't go there, Caleb, I say. I said I was sorry, remember? Said it 10,000 times. Give her brother a break, why don't you? This ain't McDonald's, Caleb. No breaks today, I say, moving to another seat. Caleb's got about 6 books with him. He takes care of business, keeps up with homework. That's how he is. But even 2 seats over, I can smell him. He don't wear the cheap stuff that hurts your nose like some boys do. Dear diary, should you ever forgive a boy who done you wrong? Malika. Caleb can be persistent. He moves down 2 seats. Miss Birdie, the teacher, tells us both to settle down. Shut up and be ready to spend the day in detention again tomorrow. That doesn't faze Caleb none. He keeps running off the mouth. Why are you bothering me, Caleb, I ask. I should have left you when you started teasing you. He says finally. Then he starts playing with his pencil, chewing on his lip. Both get quiet for a while. I figured if I left you, the other kids would stop messing with you. How can you think something like that? I ask. Caleb says that ever since him and me started hanging together, the kids teased me. So he figured if he got away from me, they'd stop. So why are you trying to be friends with me again now? I ask. He tells me that things are still going bad for me, and even with him not around, so he figures he can't make my life no worse. Besides, he whispers, I still like you. A lot. Eyes don't lie, and that's what Akilma would say. So I look deep into Caleb's eyes. God, they're gorgeous. Big and brown. I think about Akilma. Right now, she'd probably say, Malika, forgive and forget. That's easier than dragging out around anger like sacks of stone. I want to laugh at that one. Those is Mama's words. She says them when I get mad at her. I want to forgive Caleb, but I'm scared. What if I start liking him again and he does what he did before? Mo and Elkema, they could forgive him. I'm not that strong. I'm not that strong at forgiving. Not yet. Caleb stares at me, all dreamy like. I didn't mean it, I swear, he says. I won't ever let you down again, Caleb says softly. I nod. Chapter 20. Miss Saunders is crazy. Last week she got me stuck in house detention. This week she's asking me to stay after school so she and me can go over the diary again. I promised to meet her as soon as the 3:30 bell rings. I lied. I get to her room at 4:45. Why should I bust my butt getting down here when she got me in-house detention? Instead of rushing, I stay and help Miss Carroll do some Xeroxing. Then I watch cheerleaders rehearse outside. When I get to Miss Saunders' room, she's not even there. The janitor says she's in the auditorium. We have to give speeches in her class tomorrow, and she wants us to each do it in front of the stage, in front of Mike. She's there checking out the equipment. I figure Miss Saunders is on the stage, so I go into the auditorium by the backstage. The 9th graders are putting on The Wiz, and they got all kinds of junk on stage. I hit my toe on a wooden monkey and almost trip over some long ropes and cables. I want to scream when I see the witch's costume hanging on a hook in the corner like somebody's in it. I can overhear Ty and Miss Saunders talking. They can't see me where I am. The stuff was supposed to be off stage for my class tomorrow, Miss Saunders is saying. Nobody here does what they say they will. Nobody when they say they will. Thanks for helping me to move it, Ty. Ty stands up and walks over to Miss Saunders. They push 2 tables down the stage curtains, and then stop to take a breath. I don't mind. I like these kinds of things you're doing to keep the students interested, Ty says. I start to leave backstage when I hear something Miss Saunders says to make me stop in my tracks. I wish it was helping their grades, though. Half my 7th graders are flunking this semester. Ty's eyes look like they're going to fall out of their head. Mine probably do, too. How can that be? Ty says, standing and stretching her arms to the ceiling, then bending over like a ballerina, taking a bow. She grabs a hold of her ankles and pulls her head in between them. I hear students in class. They love it. They get so excited. Miss Saunders bends over to get a good look at Ty. They're so enthused in class, full of great ideas. That's great, Ty says, standing and stretching from side to side. Their insights are fantastic, Miss Saunders says, right on target, but their test-taking skills are just terrible. Ty heads for the bed Dorothy wakes up in when she finally makes it home and grabs one end and starts shaking. That's not unusual for many of our kids, but you've managed to get them to like Shakespeare, to read something other than TV Guide. Help them learn to test better. Don't kill their spirit by flunking them and making them think that nothing they've done really counts. Miss Saunders sits down on the edge of the bed. I can't give them what they haven't earned. Nobody's asking you to do that, Ty says. Miss Saunders says McClinton students have to be held to the same standards as other kids around the city. Ty says that's true. The test ain't the only way to prove you know something. They will thank me later, Miss Saunders says. Ty sits down on the bed and folds her legs. If you're still here. Miss Saunders stands and folds her arms tight. I knew the students have been hard on you. Picture on the blackboard, the name calling in the halls, kids telling you to buy a new face. I don't want to talk about it. Let's get this stuff off stage. Miss Saunders gets up and starts dragging the end of the bed toward where I am, standing backstage. I'm fumbling with my book bag, trying to get out of here, but I don't make it too far. I can't help wanting to hear what they're saying. Ty walks over to the edge of the stage and sits down. Her short legs look funny hanging over the side. She starts drawing circles on the floor with her fingers. Ease up, she says to Miss Saunders. None of us is perfect. That's easy for you to say, Miss Saunders says. Then she starts talking real soft and sad, telling Ty how when she was little, she prayed to God to make her face perfect. He didn't, she says, so I tried to make up for it, to be perfect at everything else I did. Then Miss Saunders says she always had to be better than everyone else at everything, because people always thought she was less than due to her face. She says she's always had to dress better, to get the highest grades and be the most creative. At her job, she had the highest sales record in the company for 6 years straight. Even here at McClinton, she says, I put in longer hours and give students an educational experience they won't find anywhere else. That's a lot of pressure to put on yourself and everyone else, Ty says, coming closer to Miss Saunders. You're a great teacher, with good ideas. These kids will like you no matter what you look like, she says. But it's your need to be perfect that will ruin you here, not how you look. Miss Saunders takes out a mirror and starts redoing her lipstick. Next thing I know, she's staring right at me through that mirror. Malika Madison, you little sneak. And that's where we stop for the day and do our questions. So let's answer our questions. Number 1, let's review who Caleb is. Who is Caleb? Number 2, what does he want to talk to Malika about in detention? Number 3, do you think Malika should do it? And why? Explain your answer. Number 4, what do you think is going to happen next? Not just with this situation, but with the whole next chapter with Malika getting caught by Miss Saunders and everything too. All of it. All of it all together. So number 1, who's Caleb? Number 2, what does he want to talk to Malika about in detention? Number 3, do you think Malika should do it and why? And number 4, what do you think is going to happen next? Make sure you put your notebooks back where they were. And you are done for the day.